Hi and welcome to another video. My name is James Cooper and my video channel is called Raw and Uncut. And before we start this video, which is called To Retire in Cambodia, I would ask you to like, share, subscribe and hit the notification button so you know when a new video comes along. Yesterday I made a video about my morning routine, my unhealthy morning routine. And a lot of people actually commented on what's it like to retire in Cambodia. So hence I'm making this video. I've done videos about the cost of living here. I've done videos about my apartment, the nightlife, etc. All you need to do is go to my channel, go to a playlist, either hit the Siam Rip channel or the Siam Rip vlog. And there you would get all your answers. So, first of all, let's do the visa. When you arrive at the airport, it's changed now, I do believe, that you can get an ordinary or a business visa for about $35. You'd have to state this very clearly and check, and that visa lasts for 1 month. Then, just go to a travel agent, and as long as you're over 55 years old, the requirements are pretty simple. You may, and I say you may, it sort of really depends, and it's sort of a grey, vague area, need a bit of proof related to your retirement, about your income, and a letter from, let's say, the British Embassy, or from your employer that you have retired, and you do have that. You may need to sign an affidavit saying that you are retired and you earn this money. You may need a bank statement, etc., etc. So, a good one to go to in Phnom Penh is Lucky. And if you just type in Lucky on YouTube or in Google, you can see some reviews of that. In Siam Rip, where I live, there are 1 or 2, and my one is right next to the Tel Steakhouse, and they do my retirement visa each year. The cost is around about $290, but if you want the express, you want it back in a couple of days, it's about $300. So let's just say $400, okay? First of all, you're possibly going to live in some kind of like guest house or boutique hotel, and you can find these incredibly cheaply. Again, if you go to booking.com, and if you want it even cheaper, go to my booking.com video, and there you can save money as well. You will get like a 15% discount. Irregardless, you can find that again if you go to travel on my playlist on Raw and Uncut Management. Then you can just go to various websites on YouTube. Sorry, you can go to various websites on Facebook, and there's lots of agencies there who will be willing you to rent an apartment. It's really simple to do, but beware of this agent. They are going to add on additional costs to the owner. So if you see advertised at $350, the agent's going to get $50 a month, and the house owner is going to get $300 a month. Okay, so getting a tuk-tuk, for example, and just going round the whole city and just looking for places that to rent and see if you like any. The closer you are to the city, the more expensive it's going to be. I live about 2 kilometers away from, let's say, Pub Street or the main area. And I've got this apartment, and if you look at my other videos, it's a 1-bedroom apartment with a small balcony. On the top it's got a roof garden, 2 air conditioning, generator, there's no swimming pool, roof garden I said, and your own washing machine, and it cost me $300. But it does have Wi-Fi, but it's not exactly the best, so I pay for my own Wi-Fi, so I have a public IP, and it's really fast, so I can watch Netflix in full HD. And because there's a generator and power cuts are, I'm not going to say common, but they do happen. That generator is absolutely lovely, that you know you have air conditioning when the electricity cuts at midday, for example. It's baking hot. So 300 to 400, you're going to get a reasonably nice apartment. It sometimes comes with cable TV. My one, it didn't, but I don't really watch regular TV. I just have Netflix and Amazon Prime and YouTube. There's enough there, and you can pick up these news channels like Al Jazeera as well. So that's the accommodation. If you need a motorbike, this is sort of like an unknown area. You can buy a new motorbike for about 2,000 American dollars. A little scooter, a little Honda Dream, 125cc, easy to do. And you just drive slowly. Do wear a helmet and do have mirrors. You don't actually need a driving license. Higher than a 125cc, you do need a license, and that can be quite difficult to get. You can, if you have a motorbike license in your own country, then you can transfer it in Phnom Penh. You have to go to the capital to do it. You can't do it here. There are some companies like Consultancy Cambodia or Cambodia Consultancy that can help you with all these kind of things, and I've used them once. I would say a little bit expensive, but the value came up with their service, and they promised what they deliver what they promised. Basically, I was happy. It was worth it to save me the hassle of doing all the bureaucracy related to this kind of thing. So, getting a motorbike, but if you're in the city centre, a bicycle is fine, and you don't, that's all you need. Excuse me, I always have this kind of like bleh bit. The cost of living. Now, if you like to go out quite a lot, then there's many bars and restaurants you can go to. There's some local, you could say, pubs, like there's even an Irish pub here, and it's going to vary how much you're going to pay for a glass of beer. But if you can actually find places which is for 50 cents a beer. Now, compare it to what you pay for just a normal beer in your hometown in Australia or America or, let's say, London. Well, you're going to save a lot. The supermarkets, there's two big supermarkets here. One is called Angkor Wat, and I'm actually quite lucky that it's 1 kilometre away from my home, Angkor Market, and they have absolutely everything. I can get fresh milk, I can get cornflakes, I can get Nesquik, I can get near enough everything that I can get back in the UK, for example. And I would buy bread, I would buy cheese, I would buy milk, I would buy some, let's say, chipolata sausages, I'd buy my whiskey. Just to let you know, a bottle of Jack Daniels is going to, sorry, not Jack Daniels, a bottle of Jim Beam is going to cost you about $10. There's another big chain supermarket here called Asia Market or Asia Plaza, and they seem to be very expensive related to other supermarkets. So if you wanted that bottle of whiskey, it would suddenly cost you $14. But the average cost for myself and my girlfriend, just for food, there is going to be about $30 to $40. Then for the vegetables and the meat, etc., we go down to the markets, and there you can buy your chicken, your beef, your pork, your seafood, your fish, etc., etc. So you can say that cost of living is going to cost you, let's say, $50 for food in total. Then you're going out. How many times you're going to go out a week? You can have a really nice meal for 2 people with a couple of drinks, let's say in Viva, which I explained to you before, for about $20. You can go and find these bars, let's say Home Cocktail, where you can have really nice mojitos, for example, for $1.50. Okay, everything is here in American dollars, so it's really easy. If you're from America, it's going to be no difference, but you can easily translate it or do the conversion of it from pound to dollar, Australian dollar or Singapore dollar to the American dollar. They do have their own currency, which is Rial, but just to make it really confusing, there's 4,000 Rial to 1 American dollar. So if your bill came to $4.50, they would give you, and you gave them $5, they would give you 2,000 Rial back. So you get a lot of paper money. There's no coinage here, it's only paper money. What else do we have? So we've done the visa, we've done accommodation. It really is sort of going to depend on how much you want out of it. How can you afford it? I could quite honestly and openly say that I can live quite comfortably for around about $800 per month. Once you have a, once you have a retirement visa or visa here, if, for example, if you're working, that goes into another kettle of fish. It's easy to open up a bank account. I would highly recommend ABA. They are open like 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, most time of the year. They will give you a debit card. I think maybe now they're even doing touchless cards. And that's related to it. If you wanted a credit card, you can, but you would have to leave a fixed deposit in there. So you're borrowing basically your own money, and then you pay it back at the end of the month. But you have the power of a credit card. So my one is actually relatively small. So cost of living is really cheap. Now, a lot of people in Thailand, for example, before the Thai baht, so $1 to the Thai baht was like 35 bahts. And places like Pattaya or Phuket, which seem to be a bit more expensive, now the Thai baht is down to 30. And if they did have a pension, for example, of 2,000 American dollars, that was 70,000 baht before. Now it's suddenly gone down to 60,000 baht, which is a big difference. You're losing your drinking money, for example. So Cambodia is a great location to retire. It's relatively, at the moment, easy to get a retirement visa as long as you hit the requirements. Not difficult. Thailand, it seems to be getting harder and harder, and because of the strong Thai baht, and your American dollar is not going to go as far. So a lot of people are either going back home or moving over here. And it's easy to get to Thailand. You can fly, it takes like 30-40 minutes. You can take the bus, you can take a minivan. So many different ways to get if you want to go out for a long weekend. And the retirement visa, or any kind of 6-month visa, I do believe has multiple entries. So you go in and out of the country how you please, near enough. Hey, so that's how and possibly why I live in Cambodia as a retirement. I hope it helps. There are websites that you can go to and you can find out a lot more information than I've been waffling on to, like Move to Cambodia, but sometimes it's not so up to date. You can just go to these forums, expats in Cambodia, and you can hear a lot of stories, and there you can leave some questions as well on Facebook group pages, lots of information there. But the cost of living is like, how to say, I went to the UK about 18 months ago, and when I arrived, I was waiting for the driver to come and pick me up. I went into a convenience store called WH Smith's, and I just wanted a bottle of water, and they would charge you £1.80. £1.80 for a small bottle of water, that big. I was like shocked of how much it was. So airports, yeah, are relatively more expensive than other places, but here, for example, if you wanted that bottle of water at the airport, maybe they would charge you $1, which is like 75 pence or 80 pence for that bottle. So there's a comparison for you. If you go into a bar, and their prices are a little bit more expensive than 50 cents for a glass, let's say $1.25 for actually a really nice beer. Anchor is the beer usually here, or Cambodian beer, all very nice. Now, how much would you pay for a half a pint of local beer in your country? How much would you pay for a bottle? And there's a very good comparison. Even if you don't drink, you can get the general idea of how ridiculously inexpensive this country is. and think of it in a way that if you want to, you've had enough of your country or whatever the reason. Yeah? Cambodia is brilliant. The people are really friendly. They don't look at you as like the white person or the European. They just treat everyone the same. There are some language problems and you can pick up the language, but I'm actually really bad and haven't. I'm sorry. So there is the cost of retirement in Cambodia, and in a nutshell I would repeat, it's roundabout. You can live comfortably, depending on what you want, but you can live comfortably for roundabout $800 a month. So if you say, let's say 1,000, you can have really nice retirement. And if I just look out the window now, yeah, this is December time, it's about 32 degrees. I do have the air conditioning on, but I'm not suffering from the snow and I don't miss it at all. That's it from me. If I don't see you between now and then, I wish you a happy new year. And for those people who managed to reach about 15 minutes, oh my God, have I been talking that long on this video? Congratulations for bearing with me. Any questions, please leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer it for you related to anything about Cambodia, as long as we don't do the sensitive or anything about politics. I'm out of here. Bye for now. Happy New Year.